See what I got?
What's that?
You ask questions and it moves.
What does...
Well, first you gotta go like this. You gotta hold it. You go, show me a yes answer, and then you go, show me a no answer. And it just says yes or no.
Wow.
Hold on.
How did it show?
So, I'll show you. Okay, so this is a pendulum I got today. I don't know what the crystal is because I forget names. I just liked it. So, show us a yes answer. We'll see how it's going to the left. It spins this way. So we're going to go, show me a no answer. So it's going the opposite way. It's going to the right. So now you can ask a question.
Is the bloop real? Which way is it going?
I think, did we do yes first? I don't remember. We did yes and then
yeah,
no,
we
right?
did yes and then
okay,
no.
that was a yes.
Oh, the bloop. Okay. I have a really good question. Is Five Nights at Pizzeria's real? Which way is it going?
That's a yes.
Oh, yes! I always wanted to wonder that.
Hold
People
on.
say, wait, if this is true, or if you're just shaking this.
Now there's birds.
When you touch it, turn
You just try and hold it still, and then you can do it.
I don't know how it like, turns the back.
No, just keep it still, and then say, show me a yes answer.
Show me a yes answer or a no answer.
Do yes, do one at a time.
Is Joey's real?
We live in a zoo.
Oh my God, we're in a zoo.
Okay, I'll play with it more with you later.
It changes different colors.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, I'm gonna show people in the
Did
video.
you see the color change?
Yeah, but then when you touch it, it's like weird.
Yeah, it goes like that's cool. That's cool.
Okay.
You can see the color
Well,
change.
Peyton's gonna steal this soon, so
Can you buy me one?
perhaps. There was a... You should pick it out yourself, though. We can take you there, maybe. There's a store that we went to today, Mood Menders, and they had these, but I didn't see any that were sticking out at me. They were all pointed in like different crystals. And then we went to the lighthouse, and they had this one, which was round and clear, and I thought it was pretty cool. Apparently it's hand polished or something from, I don't know where he said, down South America. But it was...
feels really smooth.
Yeah. Apparently they're very rare, but like I said, I don't know names. I just know stuff that I like for the look. So anyways, I highly recommend them if you do not do automatic writing or channeling or any of that, or use cards, because it's one way you can get answers.
Let's see if the bird will like it.
All you have to do is ask for a yes response and then a no response, and then you can ask whatever questions you want.
Yep.
But you have to ask for the yes and no every time, because sometimes the energy changes, so the ways it'll show yes or no changes. It might do circles, or it might go back and forth, or, you know, stay still or whatever. Okay, so don't squish the bird. Got his suit going on. Bird sanctuary.
Ah! Let's go get him. Hi, I'm Book.
Okay, camera hog, I got a channel set.
Can't do it.
Just gentle, don't pull on it. Okay, ready? Show us a yes answer.
So I should say like our
It's
bigger.
going to the right.
Look at the.
Okay, just watch it. Show us a no answer.
No answer. Ashton, you're moving it.
Not really. I think it goes back and forth for no, and it goes in circles for yes. But hold it. Now, what question do you want to ask?
Is Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria real?
Hold on. Ask again.
Is Five Nights at Is Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria real?
Going back in.
Do you ask a question, Ashton? Whoever's.
Yeah, you can do it after.
Okay, easy.
Okay, what question do you want to ask? Like, do you want to know where you're going for Easter?
Yeah.
Okay. Is Ashton going to the meadow for Easter?
Yes. Is it
Going
answering?
back and forth.
So that means a yes and a no?
Anyways, I gotta channel Seth now.
Bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.
No, leave the camera. Okay, you guys are gonna have to go if you can't stay still.
Okay.
Focus.
There's only one person watching?
Well, 3 people are at work, so I have all their questions lined up.
So people are
Okay,
only, 3 people are only watching, right? Yeah, you're good. Very. Go see.
That's my bird.
Very. Why is it good? They want to see you. See
But
Alright. Brenda says,
Who's Brenda?
the thoughts you think today will in one way or another become the fabric of your next existence. What thoughts are best for us? They will influence your next existence, yes. Unless they are not self-serving or negative, then there's not much there. Unless you live a very, very negative life, well then it might carry over, but generally no. What thoughts are best for us? Well, anything that is positive. Anything that inspires you, that makes you happy, that feels good, those are all good for you. Anything negative obviously is not. But there's birds everywhere, man.
no, what is it?
Yes, anything positive, anything good, anything that makes you feel good, it's all good. There are main coordinate points, pure mathematically, sources of fantastic energy, and subordinate coordinate points vast in number. There are 4 absolute coordinate points that intersect all realities. These coordinate points also act as channels through which energy flows and as warps or invisible paths from... Okay, Peyton, you have to take the bird to just shit on the screen. No more birds in here.
You scared me.
Go throw this out. One day there'll be professionalism in here. Okay, why don't we start over? There are main coordinate points, pure mathematically, sources of fantastic energy, and subordinate coordinate points vast in number. There are 4 absolute coordinate points that intersect all realities. These coordinate points also act as channels through which energy flows and as warps or invisible paths from one reality to another. They also act as transformers and provide much of the generating energy that makes creation continuous in your terms. Where in the Great Lakes are these and how do I access them? Why do you think they're in the Great Lakes? You can access points of overlapping planes anywhere. You can access these points that you're talking about from places other than these 4 points that others know them for. So all you have to do is go out, be in a really uplifted, high vibrating mood, and then
Can we try this?
you have
To
to
sit.
ask for these points to reveal themselves to you, you can do writing on it. You can ask before you go to sleep to be shown where these points are. Put those back. Hey, you need to go. Stop trying to steal stuff. Get out. He's trying to steal chocolate and he's distracting. He needs to go. I will stop the video if I have to.
Baby.
Okay. So just because someone has discovered something or written about something or it's worked for them doesn't mean that there aren't other points or other ways to access these points. So if you go to sleep, you can say, I want to be shown how to access one of these points and the location and to remember it in the morning. And then you can write it down when you wake up, or you can just go hiking, and when you're hiking, ask to be shown one of these points. Yeah. My family concept agreement. I can see how I broke away from the mold. Will this assist me in the now and next life too? Yes. Because you usually come back with the same family members, or some of them. So the more lives you have together, the closer the bond, even if they feel like new when you first talk to them. And all experience, develops you and you learn new things. And when you're going through things with people you've known for many lifetimes, it can be easier because there's this underlying comfort that's subconscious, so maybe things progress faster. And yeah, you have made appointments, each of you, that you have forgotten. They were signed, so to speak, before you were born in this existence. How can I access them, or is this important at all? If you want to, it's more of a curiosity thing. Things that you agree to before you come are obviously who you're with, like the family group. Often it has to do with your job or some big meaningful lesson that you're working on or have learned. You, again, could do automatic writing on it or card readings, or ask to have it revealed to you in your dreams and you remember any number of things, but not knowing won't negatively impact you in this life, because after you transition you can revisit all of this stuff. But if you are curious about it, you can find out about it. You must remember also that abilities from past lives are at your disposal for your present use. You reap your own rewards. Information concerning these is often given to you in sleep state, and there's a kind of gestalt type of dream, a root dream by which those who've known each other in past lives now communicate. Can I access these abilities with ease? You can do any number of things with ease, as long as you understand that action doesn't create the world, thoughts do, vibration does, asking does. So anything you ask for, you can have. And the faster you get at manifesting, the easier it'll be. So you can ask to be given hints during your day, you can ask for signs, you can ask to run into someone who knows more about it, you can ask a book with information on the subject to reveal itself to you, you can do automatic writing, have it revealed in your dreams, you can do any number of different things and get the results you're looking for. Okay, so that is all for Brenda. Let's go to the next, which is Zinnia. Okay. Well, Zinnia has to stay very late for these, so we don't blame her for wanting to watch later. Okay. 1. It's like to connect with my grandmother who transitioned over 10 years ago. Is there any way I could hear her / hear from her? I speak to her. How do I know she's listening and if she can communicate back to me? Usually you get like a chill down your spine or on your arms or whatever if you're communicating with someone from non-physical. So that might happen. If there's some kind of object that really reminds you of her, like maybe a teacup or cake you used to eat together, or a song, or anything, you can just ask for more and more signs of it when she's around, and then you'll get that. You can ask to visit her in your dreams. You can do automatic writing. You could go see a medium if you wanted. There's all sorts of ways to connect, but you can do it yourself as well. And usually dreaming's really easy. You've dreamt of her before, because usually when people pass, they visit you in your dreams. You just tend not to remember, but that's probably the easiest way for you. 2. My job manifestation is on its way. Trying to keep the faith and allow it to happen. I so want this. It is on its way. Just keep asking. Keep the idea clear in your mind of a job in Paris that you love. As simple as that. A job in Paris that I love, starting right away. And then keep thinking happily about it and visualizing it to attract it.
Probably to expand on that, is somebody's been asking that, what do you recommend they do if they feel that the asking's more hindrance than anything?
So this before with her about, instead of focusing on that thought, just focusing on how much she enjoys Paris and being in Paris. And then what's the next logical step to stay in Paris? Well, it's for a job to present itself.
Yeah.
3. How do you convince yourself you deserve it all if you're not getting it all yet? Thank you. Really enjoy how you said yet, because that's the key. If you've watched The Secret, they talk about how people who are first starting out with the law of attraction, they get so close and then they don't manifest, so they get really upset and they give up. And they describe it as soil and plants and the seed, and it's growing and it's growing and it's just about to sprout through the grass and bloom. And just before that point, people give up. So you can know that people in the past have figured this out before, and they've had much less information to go on. Like, there weren't books about it, they just figured it out and practiced it. So they didn't have as much confirmation. There's lots of people who took years before much manifested because they unintentionally blocked a lot of it, because thinking, in terms of money or status or whatever, or there not being enough for everyone. There was like a limit on things. So everybody who's discovered the law of attraction and who uses it and has figured it out and manifests really well, they've all struggled in the past. So you are where you are, and it doesn't matter how fast you go, especially in relation to anyone else, but just know that most struggle in the beginning, and once you manifest that first thing, it's so much easier to attract the next and the next and the next, and then you get the hang of it, and then you'll forget you were ever at this point. Okay. Number 1. Does anyone choose to experience suffering? Would I technically be interfering with someone's experience if I tried to help someone who is suffering or in need? It's better to let others overcome things on their own. Some do. Like Jane Roberts and I, in that one book, we wrote about the father who had the disabled adult daughter and how he had come to have that experience because he had the opposite side of it, and he wanted to work on his compassion skills and was struggling, but that's what he was doing, so in a way he was suffering. But if you're ever inspired to help someone or to, like, give someone a little bit of money or buy them a meal or just talk with them, you might be getting a nudge from non-physical, like maybe that's what that person needs, because even if they come for the experience of, like, having difficulties, nobody comes to just suffer their whole life. So you might be helping them get past whatever they're trying to work out. If they really resist, then yes, don't bother, because they're not ready for anything. But you can even do writing from, like, you don't even have to know the person. You could write about somebody who's homeless that you've seen on the streets before, and just how you want things to improve for them, and them to be happy and healthy and find a home and a job and all that, and you could help propel their experience into a different direction without even knowing them. So you can help from afar if that's what you're drawn to. Okay, Romeo, number 2. Abraham says there is no contrast in non-physical. Would that mean there is no clarity either? There still has to be clarity because there still has to be asking, but there's a lot less resistance. So if you are like, I want a nice cottage to live in, well, instead of here where you've really got to think about different variations and specifics, you have an idea of a cottage that you want in your mind, and you'll be able to just manifest it. There won't be obstacles, and yeah, you don't have to be as specific. You said that someone can get pregnant without a partner. How would that work genetically? Would the baby grow up to be a clone of the person who gave birth to it? Well, it would just be a variation of different genes, kind of mixed up, that a person might have, but there wouldn't be anything like genetically wrong with it. It would be almost like invisible sperm impregnating a woman to create the baby. It's like you're just asking to become pregnant, and so the universe lines it up so that it's possible. Even though it doesn't really make sense to what you know right now. But in the future, it'll be like women carry both eggs and sperm, and then when they're ready, it just fertilizes itself. So eventually, gay people, single people, people who, like, they'll all be able to get pregnant if that's what you want. Including men. They just will give birth differently. How many hours can a human typically stay awake for after getting 2 to 3 hours of sleep? It still works on a 24-hour period, is best because of daylight and darkness. So, 22 to 23 hours of the day you'll be good. You can go longer, but because of the way with daylight and, you know, stores being open and stuff, unless you're in, like, I don't know, Bangkok, like really busy places, it's better to stay on the same cycle. I've heard several teachers say that humans are a hybrid species. Did extraterrestrials ever modify our DNA? No. Are we a hybrid species? No. And if so, what were we before hybridization? No. That's their belief, but humans are just humans. You are special, but you're just like, nothing is altered DNA. Except as you evolve, your DNA also evolves and changes. Who or what is Bigfoot, and how big was his foot exactly? Is he an interdimensional being, and if so, then why does he keep coming into our dimension? Which dimension is he actually from? He's not from this plane, but he's spotted often because sometimes they get lost, or they come for the experience of being seen or like hunted and then running away. But yes, he's from a different plane. It's like a plane kind of like where cavemen and women are. So there are women and children too, and they all are species. But because everyone's so hyped up on Bigfoot and wanting to spot Bigfoot, they're attracting sightings of Bigfoot. And so it perpetuates this false belief that Bigfoot's on Earth, but they just cross over on planes so that you can see them, and then they go back. But you can also, and people have done it, cross over to their plane, observe them, and then come back. What does a megalodon's diet consist of mainly? Mostly other fish. They do eat other sharks. Pretty much anything he can get his hands on, just because they gotta eat a lot. So they have eaten whales before. They just, yeah. Fish. You've said that megalodons live long lives. How long can they usually live for? They can live for a couple of 100 years. Up to about 400 is typically when they transition. By 400. It's more like 200 to 300 where they usually do. You've said that other megalodon can come out of the blue. Do you mean that a fourth megalodon that never existed before in this reality can appear even without being born? Yes, it could. It would basically be like transported here just for the experience of being this elusive shark that might never be witnessed by humans, or very few, and they can come for that experience. Before we can... Does Rocky have anything to say?
You're doing a good job, Seth.
Of course you would. And?
I love hearing your voice.
And?
Pretty much it.
And?
Your hair looks really
Ugh. That baby hair.
yeah.
We will continue then. After I become non-physical, will my life review be sort of like watching my life at a cosmic movie theater? Does everyone else watch too? Yes, you can do that. They usually wait a little while and just give you almost like clips, like trailers, previews, so that you're not overwhelmed, because memories will start popping in and flooding. But she doesn't know that I was threatening him with an elastic before that. Well, she's the only one. You can allow others to watch your movie too, but if you do not want anyone else to watch, they usually leave you alone. But it's usually more fun with other people, especially if there's like really funny parts or stuff you're really proud of. It's fun to share with others. What does a non-physical being look like when they haven't taken on any shape or form? Well, Randy, when Rocky first explained this concept to her, thought non-physical means like a jelly, like a floating jellyfish, and she was really, really confused. But you still look like you still have a shape when you're non-physical. It's just that you can't touch each other. You just kind of get close, but you can't touch in the same way. And then the more and more you progress, you can almost be invisible in other lives. And you're like a light, like a radiating light, that when others look at you, they get kind of an image of you, but you're not a human-shaped being. So just different levels of existence. If beings are non-physical or energy, then are they energy in the shape of a human or an orb? And do the orbs have eyes? How do non-physical beings see without eyes? So yes, you have the physical shape in non-physical. It doesn't make any sense, but...
Can I just jump in for a bit? Do some choose to not have a physical shape? Or like from time to time you choose to...
Well, when you transition right away, you always have a shape.
No, but I mean like...
While in it?
Yeah, like you mostly teach, but I guess you experience through our eyes, through physical man and women. You experience physical that way, but does Seth ever choose to have no form?
You can.
No form?
It's kind of like, especially if you're meditating, you kind of float out of your body. Some do it just for the experience of like, flying or floating around or being light or free. But generally when you're non-physical, it's temporary, and then you're coming back for an life experience anyways, so people just kind of play around and have fun until they're ready to come back. And then at these because people typically like to keep the bodies because they know that as they progress, the bodies become less important and you get less and less physical. So it's kind of like play with it while you have it, even though it doesn't work the same as on Earth.
Yeah, but you wouldn't miss it though, would you? You could always don the form of the body, couldn't you? Even at higher levels, but you wouldn't really...
Yeah, you don't miss it, but it's like, why not play with it while it's there?
Yeah. Just to clarify a little bit more, is it almost like how your physical world, like, is non-physical almost the same? Like you begin at lower levels as a child, and then you sort of progress to adulthood, I guess. And so, like, obviously your intentions and your point of view changes from being a toddler to saying being 30 years old. Non-physical evolves sort of the same way. Like you move from playing with toys to chasing women or whatever. You know what I mean? You progress as you grow as a person, I guess, as a being. Not non-physical, because I keep getting that sort of in my mind. It's non-physical. It's not like on a timeline, but it's a way to look at it for a physical man, I think. Seth, are you there?
It's not... Are you talking about non-physical where...
I just mean non-physical compared to physical. Like, non-physically, you come back for experiences to sort of grow or to experience different emotions, I guess, isn't it?
Yes.
I might be twisting a couple of things together. Maybe that's...
Yes, a little bit.
Well, maybe if you were busy listening instead of tweeting.
I'm not tweeting. Jesus.
Figures. I thought you would have put devil horns.
thinking of non-physical as like you're there for a whole lifetime. When you're non-physical, you're just, it's like a holding ground almost, and then you're coming back here again or moving on.
Okay.
So you're just, it would be like if you go off to college or you go to work for 2 years. It's just like a break almost, and then you come back. But
Like a vacation.
yeah, but if you're in like a non-physical experience on a different level of existence, then yes, you have a child, adolescent, adult experience.
Well, how do you know what? How does? I guess it's kind of a. You mentioned that you come back to physical for many experiences, and then you move on to different levels. Is it your choice to move on to the new level, like to move to a higher level, or who?
No, like
How do you progress, like in non-physical, to like the next level or the next plane? Like you've talked about, almost like levels, like when you're done in this physical experience, you move on to somewhere else.
it is like levels, yes.
Yeah. So, who decided? Like, do you decide that you're ready?
No,
to
you're
move?
oversoul.
Okay. Then what makes them so wise to tell you that you're
Because
ready?
they've progressed before you.
What's beyond your oversoul? Who tells them that they're ready to
Seth.
Yeah, okay.
Don't worry about it.
Please answer the question.
No,
Everybody wants to know the answer to the question.
they do not. Okay. Megalodon, da, da, da. You've said that you miss being able to eat and feel intimacy with a partner. Why don't you just become physical again? Seth, are you trapped in non-physical or something? No. It's just like you've moved beyond it, and it's not like a miss that you're thinking of, like this longing, aching. It's just like, oh yeah, I miss that. Like, oh yeah, I've been to South Africa. I miss it there. It's cool. It's just like a passing thought.
What do you miss most?
Chocolate milkshakes. So the physical kind. So yeah, you just it's not the kind of, it's not like a sadness. It's just, oh yeah, that was a cool experience. And you get to a point where it's almost like Earth is boring because you've progressed so much. So I mean, you could come for a really short experience, I suppose, but there's just other things to experience.
So are we boring yet?
How long can you stay non-physical? What is the minimum amount of time required in non-physical after croaking? You can stay for as long as you need to, but eventually there'll be like mentors who will really try and push you out because you might be hindering your own growth if you are just like a 40-year-old lives in mom's basement type. So minimum time, well, time doesn't exist, but if we're going to compare it, it would be like probably 3 months. Enough time for you to think about what your challenges and lessons were in your last life. Did you progress? Do you want to go to physical again? What kind of experience you're looking for? And perhaps you're waiting for other people to also transition if all of them are out experiencing different lives. Maybe you are waiting for one of them to come visit and then have another experience again. So usually a couple months. Lots of people tend to stay longer because they really enjoy it, but others are eager to go again. Is non-physical a place where souls can design the physical experience they want to have? Yes, so sort of like the Matrix. Yes, without all those businessmen trying to kill you and phones ringing. Yes.
Is Morpheus in it?
Oh, there's no pills you have to take. Unless you want to, I suppose. But, yeah, it's... You create whatever kind of world you want, and you can change it all the time. The possibilities are endless. And you can change it every hour if you wanted to. What's the best advice that you have for parents raising teens or just raising kids in general? If they're acting crazy, don't start yelling as much as you make you want to. Leave the room, go outside. Often they will follow, and being outside is really good. See them as you want to see them. Remember, like, all the best moments of them, and think of that instead of how they were a little shit today. Think of how they brought you your morning coffee last week. And do writing, especially if you're a really difficult kid. For teenagers, think of it more as they're being difficult because they're becoming an adult, and that's why they're rebelling, because they want to be more independent, even though they're only 14 and they really don't know how to be independent yet. But just think of it as kind of like trials before adulthood, and they're just trying to prove themselves. And like, teenage years were never this like dark time that people used to think of. It was actually really exciting because it meant you're becoming a man, you're becoming a woman. So teenagers weren't little jerks, they were just enjoying themselves. So they can do that again, especially if they're encouraged, and always have positive reinforcement, and make them do chores because it teaches them to respect their own things, to not make messes, and if they're going to have toys and nice things, they have to take care of them. And
So it's Seth's opinion, or is that Randy's?
oh, we shouldn't teach children to take care of their things?
No, I'm just curious. Like,
No.
Physical, material things are...
Yes, but if they take pride in stuff that they have, then they take better care of themselves as well. So, positive reinforcement, take them outside, get them to spend time with the family, and everything is temporary. So if they're having a fit, well, it's going to end at some point. So if a kid is screaming for whatever reason, just let them get it out and then move on. Because although they have their guides, they dip down easily and are very influenced by the people around them, so don't let them bring you down. Like, just stay where you are and try and be higher so that they can match you. What can kids do about bullying at school? Learn to fight. What if a girl is bullying a boy? What should the boy do? And by bullying, I mean physically inflicting pain. Well, hold on. I wouldn't actually recommend fighting, but running away, finding an adult, sticking in groups. If a girl is, bothering a boy, you could just accuse them of liking you. Oh, it's okay that you're trying to pinch me. I know it's just because you have a crush on me. And even if they don't, it might just make them think, oh, he thinks I like him now, and then back off a little bit. but the parent can do writing for the kids, and you can get the kids to visualize it in their mind, how their day is going to go the next day, like, effortlessly, so-and-so is nice to me, I hung out with this person, my teachers all care about me, because people think, like, bullying's a pattern, but it's not. It can be just a one-off incident where that kid was having a negative moment and the other kid was too, and they came together. But it can just be a one-off, and just keep the kid happy, keep them excited about school, and if they're vibrating high, they can't attract a bully. So just keep them up. What does Abraham mean when they say to go general? That's when you're asking for things, but you're asking with like 100 different conditions. Like, I want an 8-bedroom house on the lake with 3 acres and 6 bathrooms and a walk-in closet and a 4-car garage and a workshop and a woodshed. It's just too much at once. So when they say go general, I want a cottage on the lake with a lot of bedrooms. It's a lot easier to attract than one where you have so many specifics you can't even remember them all without writing them down. It takes the fun out of it, and it feels more like work, and then it's not easily able to manifest because you're just putting too much on it. Do dreams that feel like they took place all night actually take place in seconds? Because time does not exist, they can. They can be a couple hours, they can be seconds, because you don't remember all of it. But yes, like, it might feel like it took hours and hours and hours, but like in the movie Inception, when they go on those deeper and deeper levels, the time is at different paces. So what was 40 years on that one level is only a day in reality. So yeah. How can I better listen to my higher mind when making split-second decisions? Like, how do I know if the decision that I'm making is the right decision for me? And how can I avoid second-guessing myself? Well, whatever, when you've closed your eyes, let's say it's down to 2 options. If you close your eyes and think to that thought to yourself, that decision that has to be made, what is the answer that pops up first? Because whatever pops up first is likely the way to go. If you don't get an immediate answer, then you might need to like pause and think about it a little bit. But if it pops into your head first, that's probably the right answer. Okay, there we are. You've said that I've lived about 30 lives. What differences does it make the number of lives that someone has lived if we forget our past lives every time we're born? Well, you still learn things. You still have like virtues that you've developed and gained. So it's not like you're a toddler coming into Earth. You're more experienced. So it's still, and sometimes what will happen is you'll have some kind of experience and you'll just innately know to do a certain thing, and that could be because of an experience from a previous life. So it all comes full circle, and maybe there's some situation and you have to kind of make a decision and some kind of idea just comes to you and you don't really know why. Well, maybe you had something similar in a different life and you've learned from that. Like, things will kind of shadow into this life and help you. Because eventually when you come to like your last life here, you're going to have all that knowledge, even if it's like, you know, below the surface, and it will play out in your earth life. Is there anything that Nikola Tesla would like the people of today to know? Well, he did come up with this invention that would have created energy for everyone rather than oil and gas. But he doesn't hold that against anyone or any work. But he would encourage people to continue to use the law of attraction and to keep asking for what they want. Did witches ever exist? What did they do? How did the whole witch trend start? Witches exist in a different dimension, different plane, but it would have been like, I mean, you have medicine women and men, and then you have people who like read cards, but they're not considered witches today. So back in the day of the witch hunts, you would have had people who were more in tune with spirit and could channel, and so people thought they were possessed and they were witches, and people who would just know answers and, like, you know, they'd use a pendulum or they'd make potions and spells, and because their belief in them exists, they would work. So it's just people using non-physical and source for answers. What can we learn from the animals and beasts of our planet? Is it possible for a human to communicate with an animal or beast? They don't like the term beast, but yes, you can communicate with animals. If you have pets, give them meaningful names. You can talk to them and they'll respond, especially dogs. They really are big with the eye contact. Think of them more as equals, just in a different physical form, because they're all souls, and in the life before, they could have been George Bush, or they could have been... Oh, the computer has died. Or they could have been anyone, like, you know, anyone big or small or whatever. But you're all equal, so when you're talking to them, don't talk like in a demeaning way. And for animals, pay attention to their age, because if they're like a puppy, yeah, you can kind of baby talk with them. If they're an older dog, they might want to be talked to more as an adult, which is regular language. So for getting communication back, sometimes the answers will just pop into your head, or you'll just feel a certain way, but maybe they'll lick you for like a yes response. It just, the more time you spend, the easier it'll be, and then you'll just know stronger. What is the best thing you can do if you find yourself faced with a lion or cheetah and you're afraid? Would you be screwed? Well, don't be afraid, because they'll sense that, because they'll feed off of that. More appreciate them. Think of how cool it is to be that close to this powerful animal. Think of how nice their coat is, how this is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Just really appreciate them and tell them you intend no harm on them, and you expect the same in return, and that it's really nice to be able to meet them and to come that close to them, because few people get to. And they will likely just pass on by. What is the best thing you can do if you find yourself faced with... Oh, I just read that. Abraham has introduced a powerful process called segment intending. Sometimes I forget to segment intend. Is it necessary to segment intend? What happens when we don't segment intend? This process doesn't work for everyone, such as Rocky. He doesn't like that one. So, if you don't like a process, just don't use it. But intending, instead of using the whole process, you can just intend things to be the way you want. So, like just have certain expectations about your day. Like, I want my day tomorrow to be effortless, to be full of positive, happy experiences, and to be very enjoyable. And just put some energy into it. Maybe do writing, maybe talk that out loud before you go to sleep, before you meditate, and then just wake up knowing that that's how your day's going to go.
Also intend for a process that resonates with you. Has to be shown processes that resonate with where you are. That I know I've done that, and I've gotten really good results. And it changes too. Like, it's not like there's one for everything. I mean, you might resonate to one when you're on a certain vibration, and then if you dip down, you might need a different one, and vice versa.
Last question. Is this going to be the last Seth session? Yes. Because Rocky won't ask any questions. No, but pretty soon, yes. Because Randy went to a card reader, and one of the biggest messages she was given was to start charging for her services and to further develop the business financially as an income. So that's what we're working towards, but not yet. She's going to start working with some other businesses who host channelers and start doing it that way, and then eventually, well, not eventually, but then they'll be doing seminars and traveling around. But there'll be at least 2 more. And then we will go from there. So. As again.
Then we might extend it to another 2. Depending on...
Oh, really?
Maybe, I'm just
now
guessing.
It's we?
I'm just guessing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's so dark looking. Jesus, no, it's
My
green.
best for my gods to shadow.
Okay, you're up.
No, we're out of time.
No, we're not. We're not ending early. Fat chance.
Okay, on some of the questions that people were asking, you gave very, very, very short answers to them, and I had them in my mind, and the camera being in my face, I forgot the questions.
See, it might seem short to you, but to the person asking, it suffices.
Okay. Can you expand on all of the previous questions?
No.
For my benefit?
And for the sake of timing, oh look, it's 7 o'clock and I have answered all of the questions.
That worked out pretty good, actually.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So, Grasshopper, what is your questions?
Okay, I've got only one question because we're out of time.
And you're not very good at asking.
When is the iPhone 8 going to come out?
Why do you want an 8?
I don't know. I imagine they're going to be really good.
Was the 7 not really good?
I don't know. I don't know the 7. Because my 6 is still good.
It will be out when you're ready.
Okay, good. That's what I thought.
Probably a year or 2. Depends on if they implement certain features or not, but they're always trying to push the edge, so they're developing technologies that haven't been developed yet. It depends how long it takes them to figure it out.
Beautiful answer.
And then, you know, it'll be more and closer and closer to being waterproof,
Right.
which is where all technology is heading. Because it's pretty wild that you can be charged $900 for a phone that can be killed by a couple seconds in a sink.
Yeah, but money's just a made up thing anyways, right, Seth?
And tell that to
The bank?
everybody's bank accounts.
Okay. Money's just a made up thing, everybody's bank accounts.
I actually have $9 billion in there. Recheck your system.
There you go. Holy cow, I look like I just woke up on the video. Clear
Would
the
you
idea.
prefer to be green again?
Have a nap.
Here you go.
No, I don't care. I don't care. It's all good. But I think we're out of time there, Sethy. We're just over an hour.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, I'll definitely ask questions later on tonight.
Damn it, it won't work. Watch the screen. I was trying to do that to you. Does it work on you now?
Yeah. Okay.
No. Okay, well it's 7 now, so
Off the hook again.
if you don't have 17 questions for next time, we won't be having a session.
Deal.
Okay, I will go now. Goodbye. Bye.